was concentrating too much on the offensive work, leaving just 4 players back now to do some defending. One of them is Fandi even. But Iskandar Abdullah tried a shot from way out. Zainin Toumi rather, who scored quite a nice goal against Laos here at the National Stadium in the SEA Games from 25 meters out. Lost that match 3-2, and that was the last time they played here.
Interesting, Mark, you mentioned that Fandi was back there defending. I remember watching Pahang play against Singapore down here last season when Fandi was playing for them, and he played in that midfield role, and I remember on that occasion he was very good with his defensive responsibilities. Gets back and makes a lot of challenges, wins a lot of headers in defence, probably a little bit more so than Abbas does.
This season Singapore have scored 29 goals at home, conceded only 5. They might want 30 now. A break is on yet again. Abbas trying for his hat-trick, narrowly wide. Agonizingly close for Abbasad, and that could have been goal number 5.
It was beautifully worked again, and he definitely went for the chip there. I think he saw the keeper a long way off his line and tried to loft it over him, and just miskicked the ball. Again, the number 7 was playing the one side. He's definitely trying to get his foot underneath the ball there. If he just got it up and over the keeper, it had to be a goal. You can see the keeper's gone back. Now he's coming out. He's got no chance of getting to that one. He's in no man's land. Whoops. Just get it up and over a minute ago.
While all that was happening, Brunei almost came back with a goal before half-time. Few headers in the penalty box. One which went in. Zainin Toumi suddenly found himself with some room. No defenders latched onto him, and he just tried a back header which went narrowly wide. Could easily have been Brunei's first goal. But earlier on, the run back by McNally kept Abbasad onside. All the defenders actually pushed up, hoping to catch Abbas offside. McNally is at the moment in incommunicado land, especially with his fellow defenders. Sundram can get to it. Abbas pushing forward again. Well, he's already on a yellow card. Momentarily he must watch his challenges, but surprisingly the referee, I think, saw the initial challenge by Malik Awab. He just offered his body to McNally then.
Yeah, I thought he made a point there, Malik. He said, "You're not going to knock me around, big fella," and he just launched into him. And to his credit, he did knock him over. Did well. Interestingly, Mark, Singapore have had a very good first half, but and that has been achieved without really Sundramoorthy being very much involved in the game. He's had a couple of flashes of excellence, but not been a major player in the game. If he gets going in the second half, then they could run up a really big score.
Some manoeuvring around the Singapore squad at the moment. Sundram has gone up to join Alistair up front. Kadir is playing in Sundram's right midfield role at the moment. Abbas and Fandi, well, they're both fighting, literally fighting for the playmaker slot. Sensible play by Borhan. Had no room at all to make a decent pass, decided to just blast it into the body of Paul McNally. Malik. Abbas. Good play here. Fandi, and some room for Kadir Yahya with a brilliant pass by Fandi. So well measured, took into consideration Kadir's run up to the ball, just blasted it into his space. Sundram now, who's good with his crosses, and that's a fantastic one to Nazri Nasser! Brilliant goal by Singapore, well worked out again, and this is their biggest first half scoreline, 5-0 against Brunei. That came in the 43rd minute, and Nazri's first home goal of the Semi-Pro Division 2 League, his second in the tournament, and made by Sundramoorthy's intelligent chip.
Well, he's measured that cross. Nasri's all alone there, but he's a long way out. He's about 12 metres out, 12 yards out by the penalty spot. and the power just beats him on the near post. Beautifully picked out, and he just uses those neck muscles. Bang, and I don't think we can blame the keeper for that one. Perhaps the keeper should have gone with one hand rather than two there. Might have been able to stretch a bit further. But a super goal.
Alistair would have been very happy with that one. This nice flowing move from Singapore again. Abbas freeing Nasri, although Nasri was caught offside the third time that Singapore were guilty of falling into the Brunei offside trap. 5-0 the scoreline, a big score indeed against Brunei. No easy meet, mind you. They're fourth in the semi-pro Division 2 league. They gave Singapore some torrid moments in Bandar Seri Begawan before losing by 4-2. And strange that you just mentioned, Jamie, that Sundram hasn't really been involved with the game, but whenever he's been involved, a goal has come out of it.
Well, that's one of the frustrating things with Sundram, isn't it? That he's a player of such ability. If he could be involved the whole time, he would be just an extraordinary talent in the team.
Abbas waited a little too long. He's got to watch the shoulder. The challenges will come in very hard, especially from the Englishman. That time, Paul McNally with a lunging wild tackle on Abbas from behind.
Well, the thing was, Abbas was taking the mickey there, wasn't he? Just standing over the ball, not moving. And I don't think McNally was very happy about that. Went flying in.
A thrashing is on the cards. Big scoreline has already been achieved, and it's only the first 45 minutes. We're into injury time now, in the first half. And Singapore win another free kick in the Brunei half. Fandi. Kadir. They're using the right flank so very well, Singapore. Even Jang Jung knows that it's a potent side, decides to go up there to offer his services. Sundram Alistair trying to work something out there, but misunderstanding. Norman Kelly, nice little ball, releasing Saidakula, but Abdul Malik was very alert, and that's one thing you have to say about our goalkeeper. He is always anticipating all these long balls coming towards his penalty box.
Yeah, he did well there. A touch of the old Bruce Grobbelaars coming out and knocking the ball away. It's part of the goalkeeping art, really. They're not just there to use their hands. They're out to come outside the box. With the pass-back rule, of course, they have to play the ball a lot more. Puts them under a little bit more pressure.
And it is indeed half-time. Singapore's best first-half performance here at the National Stadium, greeted by a big round of applause and a deserved one from the crowd. And a rundown of the goal scorers. Alistair Edwards, after 20 seconds, chalking up his 17th of the season, putting him level on goals with Azman Adnan in his quest to win the Golden Boot Award. Abbas Saad got the brace of goals in the 19th and 23rd minutes, almost aggravating a shoulder injury in the process after the second goal. And Singapore's third. Malik scored Singapore's fourth in the 33rd minute. And just a minute before half-time, Nazri Nasser with perhaps the best goal of the game. A superb header, twitching and using all his neck muscles to put Singapore 5-0 up as they troop into the dressing rooms. A standing ovation and a well-deserved one for the Lions.
Pioneer, the art of entertainment.
I need to play when the game is on. I need to work till the work is done. I'm gonna stay and play till it's time to relax. When I'm stretched to the max, Isomax. When you're stretched to the max, Isomax. Set the pace with the race, now's the time and place. When you're stretched to the max, Isomax.
Now there's a toothpaste so advanced it even works when you're not brushing. New Colgate Total. Antibacterial protection that actually protects you between brushings. So while you're waiting, it helps protect against plaque and tartar. While you're working, it fights cavities. And even while you're sleeping, it fights gum problems. New Sustained Protection Colgate Total. It's the brushing so good, it works between brushings.
Pioneer's compatible Laserdisc player brings magical new worlds into your home. It's really incredible. Your own movie theater. Wow! It's so real. And the rhythm of a live concert. Pure sound. And even karaoke. Do you want to sing?
The real experience with Pioneer CLD.
Laser magic's for you.
Well, Singapore's incessant pressure in the first half has certainly got a deflating, deflating Brunei defense down to their knees, and that's a reason why Brunei have substituted their goalkeeper Mohammad Yunus with Ibrahim Bakar, and they brought in a new defender as well, and we'll get the name for you in a short while. But other than that, no changes in the Singapore side. I think it's Liu Chuan Fu. Liu Chuan Fu, who has gone in for Brunei at the back. It's just to maybe stabilize the defense a little bit. They certainly look to be in all places except the right ones in the first half. 5-0 Singapore lead, and hoping to add more in this half, especially Alistair Edwards, who is 1 goal away from winning the Golden Boot Award. At the moment he's tied with Azman Adnan with 17 goals. Had 4 shots in the first half, Alistair, and converted only 1 of them, a 25% shooting percentage. Nasri scored perhaps the best goal of the game. Sundram, who created it. Abbas. Oh, nice little 1-2 here between Sundram and Abbas. Sundram releases Nasri. Good work though by the Singapore squad once again. Sundram, Abbas and Nasri Nasser doing very well down the right flank.
It's absolutely superb football. Just patiently built up, people finding space. Just short, easy passes. Sundram laid a nice ball to Nasri, and he tried to knock it with the outside of his foot and just overdid it a little bit, pulled it wide. But beautiful stuff at the start of the second half.
Starting the way they ended the first, Singapore side. In fact, I have confirmation on Alistair Edwards' goal. It was scored in the 14th second. That might go down as the fastest goal ever in Malaysia Cup history. It is definitely the fastest goal this season in the Semi-Pro League. Burhan to Abbas. This is lovely flowing football by Singapore. One-touch football. I'm sure if the Kedah coach Albert Edwards is here, or rather Robert Edwards is here, he will be very, very envious of Singapore's football this evening. At the same time, will be a little bit wary.
Brunei have changed their lineup a fair bit actually. The number 7 McNally, who was having a bit of a tussle with Malik Awab in the first half, has now moved up front and is playing as an old-fashioned centre forward.
Chuan Fu keeping Abbasad onside. Abbas sensibly waits, gives it to Sundram, who scored a scorching goal against Brunei in the first game. Splendidly created that time, but this time though nothing came out of that.
It was a very good chance actually. It just cleared the defender, and Sundram is not really the favourite to win the headers, but had a good opportunity there to score.
Here's McNally in his new role with Bohan Abu Sama, the 2 number 7s locking horns again, and it's Bohan who comes out tops. You think Alistair Edwards is a little too eager to get his name on the score sheet, Jamie.
Oh yeah, you can see that there's a lot of tension in his play at the moment. He must be thinking all the time, when's the goal going to come, when's it going to come? To get the first goal so early and then not to score in a half when the rest of the team knock in another 4 must be very frustrating for him. And of course that means he ends up snatching at chances instead of just taking them with his normal aplomb.
Sundram, nice little flick to the path of Nasri again. There's so much class in Sundram's play this evening. He makes the simple things, he makes the most difficult things look simple. So they win another free kick, their 5th in the Brunei half. Alistair will be looking to get behind this one. And the Singapore crowd are getting behind Alistair Edwards. Instead it goes all the way to Fandi Ahmad. Headed out though by the Brunei player Momin Abdullah. Malik and McNally coming back to face us all 4. That time doing well. A very, very important interception which prevented Malik from going any further. McNally. Tong Hai should have no problems with this at all. Poor ball though by Lim Tong Hai. He did get the ricochet of the Brunei striker, Iskandar Abdullah. Borhan. Malik, nice turn. Diminutive and ever-versant Malik Awab, who had a great outing in the first half. Had a goal to actually cap off that display. Sundram. Alistair. Possession football from Singapore at the moment. Kadir Yaya. Nasri is free, he uses Nasri. Then to Fandi. Good play by Fandi, that's definitely a free kick, a challenge that time on Fandi Ahmad by Muhsin Mohammed, and he will receive a yellow card, the 3rd in the game for a Brunei player, and the 2nd yellow card dished out to a player who made a tackle on Fandi Ahmad.
Yes, I'm not sure tackle's the right word there, Mark. It was a blatant obstruction, body check, taking him, and it was obvious he was going to do it as well. Fandi's been singled out for some very rough treatment in the first half. Being the gentleman, the sportsman he is, he doesn't make any fuss about it, just gets up and gets on with the game.
And he might be the one to take this free kick as well. No, they're looking for Alistair Edwards. He should have taken a direct shot at goal. Fandi Ahmad was a little disappointed because he can strike those with a lot of venom from that distance, and in the end it comes out to nothing at all.
Yeah, very difficult to do very much with those free kicks when the central positions there. If they're wide, you can get a good angle, and attackers can go for goal. I think probably if they're not going to take a direct strike from there, they should try and work the ball wide and get a cross in from the byline.
Syed Abdullah losing the ball out. Brunei actually fared quite well at the recent SEA Games in Singapore. Poor ball by Abdul Malik, although there was no support at all from his fellow defenders. Abbas. Nasri. Is pushed outside into space, hoping that Malik can get at the end of this. Then it's cleared by Zainin Pumi. Alistair. To Malik. Good ball inside for Nasri Nasser. Can he find an angle for the cross? No. Chuan Fu stepped in just in time. Tong Hai. Clearance intended for Abbas Saad, who wasn't there. But here comes the marauding Rosaidi Kamis, skipping past Fandi Ahmad, but not Zhang Jung. Ever present in the back line. Tong Hai jumps and wins it over Momin Abdullah. Zainin Tumi with a nice easy chip inside, but once again Zhang Jung is there, winning the ball over Syed Abdullah. Rosaidi Kamis. Long, high searching ball, and it's Abdul Malik. As I was saying, Brunei fared quite well in the recent SEA Games. Scored 5 goals, conceded 17, but then gave some teams a lot of nightmares. They were holding Malaysia to a 1-1 draw until the last 10 minutes in a game which was remembered more for a blackout than the skills. They lost 3-1, and then against Thailand they were level at half-time, 2-2, before they lost 5-2. Good work here by Singapore down the right flank again. Nazri Nasser looking for Alistair Edwards, but then the imposing figure of Jeff Parker was just a little too tall, and Malik's effort was totally miskicked.
Yes, Jeffrey Parker looks a man mountain to Alistair Edwards at the moment. They're trying to knock in high balls for him. I would have thought Parker was a couple or 3 inches taller than Alistair Edwards, and if he stays by him and gets his jump in, then Alistair's going to struggle to score in that direction. Probably better to play the ball low so that Alistair can get away from his marker. Actually, going back to Brunei in the SEA Games, they played a lot of football but didn't have much punch up front, whereas tonight they've not really played very much football but certainly had a lot of punch in their game. A lot of physical commitment.
Offside trap working for the second time for the Young Lions. 5-0 up. 55 minutes of play gone by in this match. Abdul Malik has only one save to make. A shot by Syed Abdullah. Sundram skipping past his players so easily. That should have been a foul. Late challenge coming in from Syed Abdullah, but the referee ignoring Sundram's pleas. Rosaidi inside to Norman Kelly. Syed Abdullah again. His industry just can't be faulted. Chang Jung once again easily heading the ball clear. Paul McNally. They're allowing the Brunei forward some space on the ball now, the Singapore defenders. Nazri to Abbas. Well, I'm sure we'll use V. Sundramoorthy handball. That time on the part of number 16 Muxing Mohammed. The difference so far in the halves is that Singapore players are just allowing the Brunei forwards a little more time on the ball, and they should be. Borhan. Ooh. He spotted the goalkeeper Ibrahim Bakar out of his line and decided to try a very optimistic effort from almost 35 meters.
Well, funnily enough, when he came on as substitute in the last game at home, I think he mishit a cross at that stage that flew over and hit the crossbar. But that time was definitely an intentional effort. He saw the keeper off the line and tried to chip it to the far corner. Not far off. Good vision from him.
Abbas wins a corner kick. Singapore's second of the game. Worked out now between Abbas and Sundramoorthy. Sundram trying to fend off his marker, couldn't. Alistair is there now. Can he get to it? Jeff Parker once again climbing above everyone else to win the header. Kadir. Sundram asking for it. He's into some open space, but Kadir decides on the cross to Alistair Edwards. This time he climbs and almost gets that much needed goal. A much better header from Alistair Edwards that time over Jeffrey Parker.
Well, he certainly won that one, but of course Parker made enough of a challenge to make it difficult, and there was very little power behind it. It's going to become increasingly tense, isn't it, this will Alistair score or won't he?
Well, that header has certainly put a little bit of sting back into Singapore's game, because they're fighting for the balls in midfield all over again after a very slow start. A nutmeg taken out from the Sundramoorthy book of tricks. Kadir will stay out to keep his teammate on side. Sundram got entangled with Alistair Edwards then, and nothing came out of it. Malik Awab's cross was a little too far back. Edwards had to backpedal a little bit to reach that one.
Yes, and the cross wasn't coming from the dangerous sort of position. They better pull back from the byline. When Kadir Yaya had the run there and nutmegged the defender and went into the penalty area, it would have been interesting if he'd gone down under challenge there, because I know Alistair is supposed to be taking penalties tonight in place of Abbas. That might be the most comfortable way for him to get that vital goal, really.
It's been a long season for the Lions, long football season. SEA Games, pre-World Cup qualifiers and the Premier League being run concurrently. Do you think it's taking its toll on the players, Jamie?
Well, certainly this business of the Premier League and the semi-pro competition going on simultaneously has been a problem for the players. And I know I was speaking to Abbas a month or so ago, and he was saying pick up injuries and don't get a chance to get them properly cured. And I know Alistair Edwards has been feeling very tired as well.
Jeff Parker, once again, over the head of Alistair Edwards. Abbas to watch, yes, he timed this one beautifully. And really, it was quite a strange pass from Abbas because two players were onto Alistair Edwards and he still decided to bring and try to push the cross in. Sundram tried to hit the ball over Muhsin Mohammad's head, failed to do so. 16 minutes of the second half gone by. Singapore still lead by 5 first half goals. Nasri was one of the goal scorers. Trying to pick out another one. Malik Awab. Fandi. Out to Malik. Zainin Tumi in close proximity wins the ball. Here's Fandi. Kadir Yahya with some space. Fandi's vision never fails. That time spotting Kadir Yahya, who had to check. This run was halted. Could be a red card. He's already on a yellow card. Norman Kelly. I wonder if the referee was drawn into the decision by that yell from Sundramoorthy.
I thought it was a bad challenge, and to be frank, if he hadn't already had a yellow card, I'm sure he would have got booked for that incident.
Alistair climbs. Jeff Parker is there. Sundram tried to control it. Defender, and his figure just shakes him off a little bit. And just like the first half, play is camped in the Brunei half. Fandi skips past Nelly with some ease and wins a free kick. Sundram now with some space. Let's see what can Sundramoorthy do. He gets past one player very well. A nice push inside to Abbasad, who once again tries to feed Alistair Edwards. And it's getting very frustrating for Alistair Edwards because he knows that everybody's trying to feed him and he's getting nowhere at all.
It goes back to that business of relaxing and just playing the game.
Tong Hai will get to this. Good clearance from him. Nasri couldn't kill the ball instantly. Brunei win possession with Rosaidi Khamis now. Poor ball control from him though.
Yes, man for man, the Brunei players look very limited in comparison with Singapore players. Abbas is just trying all the time to feed Alistair, and he's just got to get on with the game himself, try and score if he's got the opportunity and lay it off if it's on.
Malik ever ready to go in for any sort of challenge. That time he almost robbed the ball off Zainin Tumi. Zainin did the sensible thing and just blasted the ball against Malik's leg to win a throw. Easy header over McNally. It'll be a much better contest than the one in the first half when Tong Hai was matched up against Zainin Tumi. He'll have a bigger challenge on his hands now with McNally moving forward. Chuan Fu with a very poor header down, and it just summarizes Brunei's indecisiveness at the back at the moment. Good throw in by Bohan, releasing Malik Awab straight away. Chuan Fu coming there and cutting Malik off. Alistair will get to the ball, but his ball control let him down that time. It was Muhsin Mohammad who cleared it.
Yes, Malik was almost away there for a strike at goal.
Nasri, good run from deep. Alistair setting up Abbasad, a chance now. Jeffrey Parker is there again. He's having a much stable and better second half, Jeff Parker, in the Brunei defense. But of course, he has been aided by some very loose passing from the Singapore side.
Nasri involved quite heavily in the build-up again there, and he's once again impressed tonight. Not just his work rate and his ball winning, but he's actually used the ball much better tonight. And of course, he scored a very good goal in the first half.
Tong Hai. The Lions slowing down a lot in the second half, you can tell, taking it a little easy. Borhan that time getting a taste of his own medicine for Tong Hai. A little too hasty in making the pass to Borhan, didn't even look up to see where Borhan was, and that's why the pass went astray. And it's a Brunei's ball again with Norman Kelly. At half-time, a lot of people were expecting double figures in this half, but certainly degenerated into a slow-moving matchup between these two sides. We've already played 20 minutes of this half. Sundram. Fandi. Nasri. Sundram in an offside position. Toots back nicely. Here's Malik Awab. Chip inside for Abbas. Abbas looks up to see where Alistair was and then decided to go for his hat-trick. Narrowly wide again. Abbas Saad has come close on numerous occasions, that the latest.
I thought for one awful moment then he was going to look to lay that off to Alistair Edwards, but it was a lovely ball in from Nasri. And of course he's got to have a go there and just sort of shave the post. You can see it from a different angle. Oh, it's not Nasri knocking in, it's Malik Awab, who's again had a very good game tonight. Yeah, space all opened up. Oh, must have looked very inviting to him there.
Should have been number 6. He did the right thing. He went for placing a pass to the far post instead of a blast towards goal. Alistair, good jump, well won. Good work here by Singapore. Tong Hai, Kadir, and now Nasri. Good late challenge coming in from Liu Chuan Fu. A very vital one as well, because if Nasri had gone clear, it would have been 3 against 4 in a simple cutback. Be goal number 6. Nothing to cheer for this half so far, the spectators, but they've been so impressed by the first half display that everything's forgiven.
Well, the first half performance was great fun. It was hugely entertaining football.
Singapore's 4th corner of the game. 5 players waiting in the penalty box to get onto this. Tong Hai hits it back. Had no choice. The body of Paul McNally offering some resistance then. Sundram delayed his cross. Moksin finally just charged it down. Gives away a throw in the process. Here's Sundram. Nasri. Good work by Nasri Nasser. Norman Kelly finally comes in with an important challenge. Paul McNally. First time he's controlled the ball well. Pass, testing Zhang Zhong's pace now. Zhang Zhong is so steady at the back. Doesn't mind the defender running at him. Good header by McNally. Off a cross by Moksin Mohammed.
Pioneer, the art of entertainment.
For almost 40 years now, the taste of Tiger beer has been winning gold the world over. Last year was no exception.
Choose from the top 20 commercials and win over $250,000 worth of prizes with this year's Viewer's Choice. A Nissan Sunny 1.5 without COE from Tanchong Motors. 2 Marina memberships with 2 weeks stay in Batam from PT Nongsa Point Marina, subsidiary of Keppel Corporation. Wern's multimedia system from Wern's Technology and vouchers from Furniture Town. And more furniture vouchers from Furniture Town. 4 Hong Kong tour packages and food vouchers from Milano Pizza Restaurant. 12 pairs of men's and ladies' watches from Carvan Timepiece. An array of sporting goods from World of Sports. Room and food vouchers from the Concord Hotel, Singapore. Sporting goods from Osia International Private Limited. 1 set of Ace Daikin Aircon and other prizes from Safe Enterprises Private Limited, Persol Celebrity Eyewear and Courvoisier FCM. Entry forms are available in 8 days in RTV Times. Watch out for Viewer's Choice this weekend. Send in your entries today.
5-0 still the score. Singapore lead Brunei with 23 minutes after the second half gone by. Goal scored by Alistair Edwards. Abbas Saad has got a brace. Malikawa Ben Nazri Nasir. Alistair still needing one more goal, one all-important goal to clinch his Golden Boot Award. Become the first player ever to win Golden Boot Awards in both divisions. Of course, a lot of history has been made this season. Kedah, a first side to win both first and second division titles. Selangor followed that up by becoming the second side ever to capture both the first and second division titles. Alistair, who has been tightly marked in the second half by Jeff Parker.
This is a quiet game all round, Alistair. He's obviously rather preoccupied.
Sundram. What can Sundram do? Good cross by Sundram. Just sailed over the head of Alistair Edwards then. It's the magic of Sundramuthi actually. He just has to be on the ball to set the crowd abuzz. There he is again. Whenever he's on the ball, the crowd expects something. This time he takes his player on. Good work by B. Sundramuthi. Abbasad with a chance for a hat-trick. The defender came back, Zainin Toumi, with a very good late challenge and did just enough to sky the ball out for a corner for Singapore. But good work by Sundram. The first time he's actually made a run into the Brunei penalty box.
Yeah, superb play from Sundram then, and it was a lovely ball from him. The forwards should have judged the run rather better. And he's in there again. Oh, that could have been the chance. Alistair got away from his defender there and just pulled the header wide of the post.
Not a very difficult, not a very easy header. In all fairness to Alistair Edwards, because the ball was going backwards from Sundramuthi. He did very well to latch himself onto it. He might just feel it's not his night. Two players just sandwiching Paul McNally then. Tong Hai and Fandi Ahmad. Free kicks being given to Brunei. Saidi Khamis given some room, and it's up to Malik for. He's so impressive with his catches from the crosses. Good work by Abbasad, magnificent dummy. Spots V. Sundramuthi running, releases it straight away. Sundram has got a player in front of him. Uses Zhang Jung. The tackle just came in a little too hard though by Liu Chuan Fu, who's made some very timely interceptions in this half. Sundram. Alistair makes the run. Tries to curl it into Alistair's path, but it was too near the goalkeeper. Ibrahim Bakar. Burhan allowing side Abdullah some space to move. Abdul Malik, despite the fact that he had to backpedal a little bit, covered his angle superbly.
Yeah, and most importantly, he stood up as well. Too many goalkeepers commit themselves to go one way or the other. There he is, he stands up the whole time, and away goes the ball. Caught for pace there at the back.
Burhan Abu Sama showing a lack of match practice.
That's probably right, yes. He's hardly played this season at all.
Said Abdullah was so quick, he scored one of the 2 goals when Brunei lost to Singapore. Time finding a human barrier in the form of Abdul Malik. Abbas, break is on for Singapore. 4 against 3. Alistair now with a clear run at goal. What can he do? Can Alistair get it? Oh, the post denying him this time. And he must be a frustrated young man out there. Jamie.
Oh, that is absolutely unbelievable. He's got the golden opportunity. He's got it on his favourite left foot. The defender's just pushing him wide. He's got a reasonable angle on it, and he's hit the upright. That's just amazing. He really must feel it's not his night now. Shows quite good pace, nice control, keeps it under control the whole time. That's the right time to strike it. 6 inches the other side, and that's a goal.
Sundram, assisted by Kadir Yahya. He's galloping forward again. Chuan Fu once again with another very good challenge. I'm sure if Alistair gets his goal, we'll see a few substitutions taking place in the Singapore side. Namely Abbas Saad, who will be rested. Showed signs of an aggravated shoulder. Sundram, look at that, magnificent. Nice cut back for Abbas! Well, the defender in front of him, Chuan Fu, just distracted him a little bit then. Was put off by a body in front of him, so he decided to go for the blast instead of placement. Perhaps he was in 2 minds whether he wanted to push it onto Alistair Edwards. But great run by Sundram.
Absolutely glorious again. We've had a couple of moments of absolute magic from Sundram this half. When he goes round the back of the defence, that's when he's really a menace to them. When he gets to the byline, if he pulls it back and crosses it with his left foot from quite a wide angle, not so dangerous. When he gets to the byline and goes in the penalty area, my goodness, he's a worry. He could probably have taken it on there and maybe looked for the penalty.
Stephen Tan is preparing to come on, receiving some instructions from PN Sivaji. It'll be an interesting thing to note as to who he'll replace. Kadir, Sundram. Sure, the fans would be furious if he is the one to be replaced. But no angle for the cross, decided to give it to Kadir. Alistair did get to the ball. Jeff Parker mistimed his jump that time. Alistair did get to the ball, but he was too far away from the goal and the angle just wasn't right.
Yes, the keeper didn't do awfully well there. But unfortunately it was just drifting away from him all the time. There's a sort of fascination about this half to see if they can, if Alistair can get the goal.
Not wanting to risk any injury at all to his star forwards, Sivaji has decided on the right thing, and that's to replace Abbas Saad. So most likely V. Sundramuthi will partner Alistair Upwards up front now, and Stephen Tan, who is a very good crosser of the ball, will come to the right and perhaps deliver some very important crosses for Alistair Edwards to latch onto. He gets his first touch of the ball immediately. Good work here, Stephen. Oh! A big laugh here because Stephen, well, even Sundramuthi is having a laugh there because we probably saw the fastest goal of the tournament from Alistair Edwards after 13 seconds, and this is probably the fastest goal by a substitute after coming on. That too after 13 seconds. Stephen Tan has got himself on the score sheet with goal number 6.
Well, Stephen takes the goal tremendously well there, under pressure, just knocks it into the far corner. And well, I've been watching football for 33 years now. And I've never seen anything like that. Substitute come on, first 3 touches of the ball and he scored. And Alistair Edwards must be thinking, why couldn't that have happened to him?
That, by the way, is Stephen's first home goal of this Malaysia Cup season, the semi-pro league season rather, and his second in the tournament. He scored 1 against the Armed Forces. He scored 2 against the Armed Forces, Yahya Madon. And he will now replace Fandi Ahmad, resting all their regulars. Sivaji taking no chances at all, as I said earlier on. And what better person to take Fandi's place than a guy with all the vision of a playmaker, Yahya Madon. Perhaps the most intelligent player in the Singapore squad.
Yes, I'm a great fan of Yahya, actually. I thought he was badly missed in the SEA Games after collecting an injury in the early game. And he may be able to create some opportunities for Alistair. Although as it slips into the last 13 or 14 minutes of the game, Alistair must be feeling that time's running away for him.
It is indeed 14 minutes of the game remaining. Yahya's first piece of action will be trying to prevent Zainin Tumin from making the cross. He did prevent Zainin from crossing the ball, but not from passing it to Moksin, who's hoist into the Singapore penalty box, caught one of his players in an offside position, and that's the 4th occasion that Brunei have been caught in an offside position. Norman Kelly intercepting, a pass to Yahya Madon. Yahya did well though to win the ball back for Nazri offside, Stephen Tan. And that's also the 4th occasion that Brunei have caught Singapore in an offside position, namely Stephen Tan. It's a great way to get back into the game for Stephen. I really do feel happy for him, especially being benched for so long after sterling performances in the SEA Games. It's one way to get back. A goal with your 3rd touch of the ball after 13 seconds of coming on. Yahya Madon failed to get past Momin Abdullah. Zhang Zhong to Kadir. He's got some space, and towering Paul McNally in front of him. Poor clearance, goes straight back. A chance for Alistair now. He won't get it because Jeff Parker is just towering above him this whole second half. Norman Kelly wins the ball over Nazri Nasser. Keeps possession, checks, releases Paul McNally, who doesn't have the stamina anymore to last this match. Yahya. Inside to Alistair. Not a good ball by his weaker foot. Rasaidi. Rohan's challenge, very hard. Jeff Parker will have no problems with that at all. Here's Stephen to Alistair. Syndrome waiting for the cross. Alistair a little too selfish that time. Malik was running in. A little flick inside would have meant that Malik would get a second goal. But instead, Singapore get their 5th corner. Their 4th in this half. Here's Malik. Good work by Malik. Tong Hai is there. Tong Hai wins it. Stephen loses control of the ball. Kadir. And Jeff Parker. McNally didn't shout to him that he wanted a header. So Jeff Parker just went for it, knowing that he had a cover behind him. The process concedes a corner. The crowd urging them on, especially Alistair Edwards. Too high for Alistair that time. A second chance now, Kadir. Tries to create a better angle for the cross. Get to the byline. Sundram, he's inside the penalty box. Kadir cross swerving out. Malik. Borhan. Good overlap now. A chance for Singapore. Ball comes inside. A penalty. Yes! Alistair Edwards will have a chance now to overtake Asman Adnan. Kadir Raya comes up and tells him, focus. Get yourself focused for the penalty. And he will thank Borhan Abu Sama for that very brave and enterprising run into the penalty box. Great run.
It was well worked down there, and I don't think anyone's going to argue too much about that being a penalty. It was a very wise choice to check inside. Lovely ball there. He's gone into the box, very direct, and just flicks it round his man with his right foot.
I think it was Stephen. Sorry, Borhan. Sorry, Stephen. So Alistair versus the goalkeeper for 7-0. Can Ibrahim Bakar do anything? You are now looking at this year's Golden Boot Award winner. Alistair Edwards gets the crowd up on their feet, and Singapore record now their biggest win of the season. The team spirit, camaraderie has been so apparent this whole match, and it's never been more apparent than now, when the side congratulate Alistair Edwards winning the Golden Boot Award, and this is how he did it.
Oh, and didn't he take it well? It just about grazes the inside of the post there. I think you'll see it does actually just clip the inside of the post. He's picked his side. Oh no, it was the stanchion it hit there. That's an absolutely perfect corner. And he's delighted. Off he races to be congratulated by Abbas. And the crowd delighted for him too. Popular man here.
Goal that gets the crowd laughing and singing, and Asman Adnan crying. Well, we don't want tempers to boil up. Mick Lyons was all set to prevent Alistair from getting that Golden Boot Award. Stephen Tan praised for his enterprising run into the penalty box. In fact, memories of the SEA Games came to mind. He actually got into the penalty box and scored the equalizer against Myanmar. It's almost the same position he was in. This time he created the penalty for Alistair Edwards to score his second and goal number 18 in the Semi-Pro Division 2 League tournament. Selangor wound up the campaign with a 6-0 win over Perlis. Singapore lead Brunei by 7-0 in a very convincing performance.
An interesting point, Mark, whether they make Stephen Town man of the match. coming on as substitute and scoring, and then setting up the penalty that wins Alistair the Golden Boot Award.
That is one of a few players who didn't sing on their new album, PN Sivaji. I'm sure he'll be singing the praises of Alistair Edwards after the game, and Stephen Tan for creating it. Edwards with 2 goals, one in the 14th second rather, and another in the 82nd minute. Abbas Saad with 2 goals, one in the 19th and another in the 23rd minute. Malik in the 33rd, Nazri in the 44th, and Stephen 13 seconds after coming onto the pitch in the 75th minute put Singapore 7-0 ahead, and boy do they look happy, the fans. Definitely their faith in the Singapore team justified.
It's been a carnival atmosphere tonight. Certainly being in the crowd at half-time, everyone was chatting, enjoying themselves, laughing about the game, enjoying the quality of the goals. And now Alistair topping it off with winning the Golden Boot Award. It's made it a great night for Singapore. Be nice for them to keep a clean sheet as well and win by 7, maybe even 8-0.
That's my man of the match being treated, Malik Awab. Saidi. Alistair won't be too worried about a hat-trick now. Oh, he shows another side of him. He can score goals, he can take defenders on too. He's got support from Malik Awab. He uses Malik. Sundram is waiting for it. And Sundram cap another fine performance. Ooh, Yaya Madon almost becoming the 8th goal scorer and the second substitute to come in and score.
Bad miss from Yaya Madon there. I mean, that's just a tap-in regulation goal. Beautifully worked, and interesting, we haven't seen Alistair in those wide positions because he's been in there hunting for goals. And in that case, Sundramurti's run off the pitch, so he's not offside, and Malek's passed the ball to him, so the ball's run dead. But Alistair's stayed in the middle the whole of the game looking for goals, and I think Singapore have missed his runs wide, and of course he ran free there and created a good opportunity for Yaya Madon.
Tough group they're in for the Malaysia Cup quarter-finals. Pahang, Perak and Kedah. Judging from this performance, Jamie, what do you make of the group we're in?
Well, I think it's good for Singapore to be in a tough group because they know it's going to be stepping up a gear from playing in Division 2 this season. And so they may as well get in there and see what Kedah are like and how defensive Perak are, and whether Pahang have lost it from last year or whether they had an unlucky season. So I think, you know, they've got a good side. They've got as good a team as anyone in the competition. They've really now got to go out and prove it in both halves each game.
Yaya with a tackle, including his run. It's the third time that Singapore have scored 7 goals at the National Stadium this year. 7-0 against the Philippines in the SEA Games, 7-3 against Sabah in the Semi-Pro Division 2 League, and now 7 against Brunei. Can they score 8? A good cross by Nazri. What a goal! That has got to be one of the greatest goals anybody can score at the National Stadium. And Sundram capping up a fine individual display with a superb, acrobatic, elegant, classy. My words just run out. I can't describe it anymore. That was just simply spectacular.
That's an absolutely sensational goal. You can't go anywhere in the world and see better skill than that. He should really have left it for Malek, but look at that. Absolutely vintage stuff, and the fact that it clipped the underside of the bar made it look even classier. The ball's well behind him. The actual acrobatics of it is breathtaking. Look at that. That is absolutely football out of the top drawer.
Sundram, his skills taken away from the mundane, and a player with extraordinary capabilities. And his Man of the Match award very much